Talking to legendary coach Joe Gilliam, and we're discussing some of the things in reference to the athletic program at Tennessee State University, as well as some of the notable personalities associated with that particular program. Of course, Coach, let's continue our discussion.
The final thing that I learned from Ed Temple, and it might have been the most important of all, Doctor, was that athletics only has a place in schools if they emphasize academics. Now, if the athletics are not emphasized, then there's no place for athletics in the academic program. The question arises, why? To begin with, what purpose is it serving? So what I learned from Ed Temple was that you had to take an active role in the academics so as a result of being influenced by him, I started a study hall at Tennessee State University. I forced our players who needed to take tutors, and I monitored their relationship with their tutors. We had what we called the progress attendance report that had to be in my hands by 4 o'clock every Friday. And this attendance report let us know how our players were doing, whether or not they missed classes.
And the simple fact of attending class.
And attending classes, whether or not they were behaving properly in classes, and all of these things. And taking this active role in the life, I think is extremely important. Today, if I looked out over our state of Tennessee, I relate Pat Summitt and Ed Temple similar in that they pay attention to all those levels of their athletes, so that graduation numbers are just phenomenal. Their success with their athletes is outstanding. Those people go on beyond, and then as Ed Temple, and I think Coach Summitt, they follow their athletes even after they leave them. And they're there for them, even way after they've left. But they do an outstanding job. I think that a youngster between 17 and 23 in college, they're making decisions that that affect the rest of their lives. But the problem is, these are the first times that those young people have an opportunity to make this. Before this, their parents made all of the important decisions in their life. Now, all of a sudden, these youngsters are making life-affecting decisions with minimal background experience in making these kinds of decisions. So now you're going to have problems, and you're going to have mistakes, because there's a learning process that has to go along with making life-important decisions. I'm really interested in the situation there with Pac-Man, because my experience tells me this, Doctor, that if a youngster comes to you from a situation that has not had the discipline, that is a poverty situation, that has not had the tutoring and the leadership, you can't leave those to their own devices. These kinds of youngsters must be handled with a short leash. They must be handled in a serious, no joking kind of thing, because there's so much that needs to be done in their lives. Now, you can't leave them to their own devices. You can't be, well, I guess, easy with them. You must be fair. You must be honest. But you must be stringent, because their life and their background prior to coming to you they've needed this. Now, if you don't step into the void and afford that, what I would call tough love, you're losing.
That's right.
And the youngsters that we lose because they've had money and successes, we lose them